everybody, and welcome back to the Internet Replying. Today, we are looking at women against feminism.
So Nick, are you telling us that women are not allowed to have their own free will, make their own choices, or be allowed to have an opinion of their own? How very feminist of you. Careful, your misogyny may be showing.
Yes people, that is right. You heard me correctly. There are women who are against the very thing that got them the right to speak out about their opinions in the first place.
Okay, so we have feminism to thank for the freedom of speech women are entitled to, do we? It couldn't possibly be, I don't know, let us say the 1689 Bill of Rights in the United Kingdom which granted that. Or how about the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights in the United States? Looking at Canada, we have the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. A recent example in history being the 1998 Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Or in Brazil there is the Constitution which was written up in 1824. 4 of these legal rights predate the ideology of feminism by quite a lot of time. In the description there is a link to an article listing free speech laws, none of which mentions feminism.
I don't need feminism because it reinforces the men as agents, women as victims, and dichotomy. This is what an anti-feminist looks like. How spoiled does this girl have to be?
Not quite sure how she is spoiled, but we're sure you'll have an excellent reason for claiming she is based off of one picture.
To not realise that she's got so comfortable in a world where men and women are still kind of equal.
Wait. They are equal? Guess she is right and we're done here, no need to watch anymore. We're sure the rest of his video is going to be a quick goodbye then.
There are still some differences, but mostly equal.
Mostly equal. Oh, we don't think he's done after all.
She got so comfortable in that society that she's rejecting the notion of equality of the sexes.
Maybe she is comfortable. Maybe she is rejecting feminism because, as you have just finished stating, the sexes are, and these are your words, mostly equal. Perhaps she realizes that feminism isn't actually pushing for equality anymore, but superiority. Perhaps that is why she does not feel the need to identify or consider herself a feminist. But that would mean you, as a feminist, are attempting to rob her of her agency. Apparently your brand of feminism by that logic would only advocate for the equality of certain types of people? Feminists.
Let's do the definition game.
Oh no. Not the definition game. Whenever a feminist comes out with a definition game, it always leads to the same thing.
Define feminism, the advocacy of women's rights on the ground of the equality of the sexes.
Oh boy. We did not see that coming at all.
Wow! Wait, I can do this too. One moment. I have a Sharpie as well. Look at me! Look at me! I'm a jackass.
At least you can admit it, and admitting you have a problem is often the first step.
I don't need feminism because I don't think it's necessary to belittle and disperse the entire gender in the name of equality. Now, what? Wait.
So are you telling us that you do believe that it is in fact necessary to belittle and dispose of an entire gender to bring about equality? Dispose of? That is not equality, Nick, that is genocide. Do you know what other group called for the disposal of another group?
Wait. Oh!
Fine. Since you wanted to play the definition game, here is one for you, which coincidentally also answers the last question we had for you. But we're not implying any sort of similar solution this ideology and yours may have. Please dispose, or rather dispel, any such notions. But as you can see here, the Nazi Party is not defined by their actions either. They can't therefore have anything to do with the hatred that was caused during World War II. Much like feminism by its definition can't have anything to do with any form of oppression or misandry.
My bad.
A little bad of you, yes.
I don't need feminism because of over 40% of the domestic abuse victims are men, although zero shelters are available in our supposed patriarchy. You make a good point, but feminism is not the thing you have to blame.
Oh, we wouldn't absolve feminism of all guilt just yet, Nick. Meet Aaron Peetsy and Earl Silverman. Aaron was the feminist who founded the first women's shelter. She was hailed. She was praised. She was held up as the ideal feminist. Until she, years later, began advocating for a men's shelter. And wouldn't you know it, those pesky feminists started harassing her, killed her dog, and threatened her and her family so much that they had to leave the country. Earl here. Well, he founded the only men's shelter in Canada, with no government assistance. And those loving feminists couldn't abide by that form of equality. His shelter was picketed, harassed, and eventually forced to shut down. The harassment he received drove him to suicide. So maybe not so innocent after all, Nick.
You're blaming society for not being equal, not the advocacy for equality.
Look at that equality advocacy.
I don't identify as a feminist because I don't want these women to be my voice. Speak out for yourself instead of standing against the very thing that got you to be able to voice your opinion, wear whatever clothes you like, vote, own houses.
Okay, for the sake of argument, let us say that feminism is the only factor which won women those rights you just rattled off. It is possible that there could indeed be women somewhere in the world that do not wish to have these rights for whatever reason, that they may in fact reject these rights and principles. Perhaps that is what the sign is referring to. And perhaps the message of feminism then to her would be something along the lines of tough luck, we are your voice and you have no choice but to accept this fact. Feminism would then be the oppressor of these women, would it not? As you are claiming that their agency, voices and choices means nothing to feminists.
I don't need feminism because 1. I respect men, 2. Being a woman is not a disadvantage, 3. I have my own opinion, 4. I take responsibility for myself and my decisions, 5. I don't feel like a victim, 6. The feminist movement is full of shit. I'm voicing my opinion that I have a right to because of feminism, maybe. I should go against feminism.
You are repeating the same point over and over, so we are going to just tell you to revisit our first point in the interest of time. Repeating dogma does not make it true, Nick.
Okay, let's Google this, shall we? Shall we just Google answers and then we can finish this shit show?
Please, not another dictionary definition. Please, not another dictionary definition. Please, not another dictionary definition.
Percentage of male to female rapes. 1 in 10 rape victims are men. That must mean feminism is wrong. No, it just means our society is completely fucked.
Well, at least it wasn't another dictionary definition. But Nick, seriously, is that the extent of feminist research? A Google search and the first thing that pops up must be the answer. No wonder your lot seems to believe in things like the wage gap, and the 1 in 5, or 1 in 4, or 1 in 3. Or is it down to 1 in 2 yet? Statistic on rapes on college campuses.
Yes, okay. One headline from that one picture that we saw earlier. Let's find another one. Okay, Yahoo says roughly 40%. Okay, so we can take this as correct because 2 people on the internet agreed, so therefore it must.
Oh, 2 people say something, so it must be true. That is not how research works, Nick. Try looking at the source data to start with. Maybe on FBI or Dodge or CDC study if you are referencing the United States. In the description you will find a link to the CDC's National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey. That is where these statistics come from. A peer-reviewed long-time study by researchers. Not a headline and blurb in some newspaper article. Depending on the type of abuse, men have been the victims of up to 53% of the violence. Please, we encourage you to take a look. Spend more than 30 seconds looking into something.
be right. No, but seriously. Yes, okay, but feminism, the equality of women to men.
You mean superiority, not equality.
Or all the sexes, it's genders really if you take psychology. But fuck it!
Nick, look at all the intersectional feminist allies you just marginalized. You're going to have your fedora taken away from you at this rate.
You're just stupid. I'm a feminist, and if you're not a feminist, you're a bigoted asshole.
Seems like a familiar argument.
If you don't believe in equality of everybody on this planet, apart from the people that want to kill people, you're an arsehole.
So you are saying that feminists are assholes? We don't quite understand, since you have done exactly nothing to show feminists believe in equality. In fact, some may argue that they support that second group you alluded to about wanting to kill others, but that's a separate video.
So, the moral of this video, fuck this Twitter account.
Feminist teaching morals. That's good for a laugh.
And fuck you. No, but seriously, fuck this Twitter account.
No, Nick, fuck your close-minded rhetoric.
This video was created to abide by YouTube's terms and service. The purpose of this video is to foster discussion and critique of greater issues in a manner of education, not as an attack against those who harbor feelings in contradiction to the contents of this video. The creators of this video have no ill will or malicious intent by creating this video or with the information contained within. This video may contain jokes, satire and criticism that some may find offensive, as well as against some individuals and their ideas and ideals. These are not being shared as a personal attack or abuse of any sort but as rebuttal and critique of differing views and ideas. The contents of this video are meant as discussion points and are not to be considered in any way to be seen as malicious, humiliating or hurtful. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewers of this video are actively discouraged from engaging in any sort of abusive or harassing behavior towards any other individuals. Links provided within this video are there to avoid claims of plagiarism and misquoting, and to act as sourcing for information provided.